I never considered myself a jealous husband, but I'd learned early on that boundaries in relationships are non-negotiable. My wife, Vanessa, was beautiful, ambitious, and endlessly charming, a combination that drew attention wherever she went. I trusted her completely, or at least I thought I did, until the night of the company holiday party. The event was held at a downtown rooftop lounge, twinkling with fairy lights and the hum of holiday music. Vanessa was radiant in a red dress that hugged her in all the right places, and I was proud to see her colleagues compliment her. At first, everything seemed normal: laughter, networking, and casual drinks. But then I noticed him, her boss, Gregory. Gregory had always been a little too flattering toward Vanessa, with lingering looks and subtle touches that most would dismiss as harmless. But I couldn't. There was something in the way he leaned in, the way his eyes lingered, that made my skin crawl. I tried to brush it off, telling myself I was overreacting, but my instincts are usually right. Around 10 p.m., while Vanessa was talking to a group of colleagues, Gregory approached me. "Hey," he said with an arrogant grin, "you must be Vanessa's husband. I hear so much about you." There was a mocking tone beneath his words, and I noticed the way his eyes scanned me as if assessing my worth. I smiled politely, trying not to show my irritation. He chuckled, leaning closer. "I hope you don't mind if I get close to Vanessa tonight. You know, company bonding, networking." His laugh was sharp, almost predatory. I forced a laugh, trying to keep my composure, but inside, a cold anger was building. I excused myself and went to the balcony, pretending to check my phone, trying to calm the storm in my mind. Minutes later, I saw Vanessa standing near Gregory, smiling at something he said. My blood boiled. She looked genuinely amused, and he was enjoying every second of it. I decided enough was enough. I walked over, keeping my tone calm but firm. "Everything okay here?" I asked, placing a hand lightly on her shoulder. Vanessa turned, surprised, but smiled reassuringly. "Of course," she said. "Just talking about the project." Gregory, however, laughed. "Don't worry, I'm just mentoring her a bit. No harm done." His laugh was meant to be dismissive, but it only fueled the fire inside me. I looked at him steadily, and for a moment, I think he realized that I wasn't a man to be intimidated so easily. But then, in a calculated move that shocked me, he stepped closer, invading my personal space. "You really trust her with everything, huh?" he said, smirking. His arrogance was palpable. My blood ran hot. I knew at that moment that words alone wouldn't convey the message I needed him to understand. I excused myself briefly, returning with a camera I had discreetly brought. It wasn't illegal or malicious, just a precaution, a way to have proof if things escalated. I returned to the balcony and found Vanessa alone, sipping her drink. "Let's go outside," I suggested casually. Outside, the winter air was cold, but it did little to cool my anger. I turned to Gregory, who had followed, probably thinking he could continue his game. "I think you've misunderstood something," I said calmly, holding the camera casually at my side. "Vanessa is my wife. That means boundaries are not optional. Respect them." For the first time, the smugness in his eyes faltered. He tried to laugh it off, but it was nervous now. "Come on, I was just joking," he said. "No," I said firmly. "You were testing me. You were testing my marriage. And I don't tolerate disrespect." I could see a shift in his demeanor, a mix of surprise, fear, and embarrassment. He realized that his usual charm and power over others didn't work with me. I had called him out without losing my composure. Vanessa looked at him, then at me, a mixture of relief and pride in her eyes. She had never needed me to act like this before, but I realized in that moment that boundaries sometimes need enforcement. The balance of respect had shifted, and it was clear who held the moral high ground. Gregory stammered, finally taking a step back. All right, he muttered. He tried to laugh again, but it was hollow. I gave him one last steady look before turning to Vanessa. "Shall we leave?" I asked softly. She nodded, and we walked away together, leaving his stunned expression behind. The rest of the evening passed without incident. Vanessa clung to my arm, grateful and a little shaken, and I realized how vital trust and action are in a relationship. Words can only do so much. Sometimes, you need to stand up, calmly but firmly, to preserve what matters. Later that night, as we drove home, Vanessa rested her head on my shoulder. "Thank you," she whispered. "I didn't know what I would have done if you hadn't handled it like that." I kissed her forehead, feeling a mix of relief and pride. "I didn't do it for you," I said lightly. "I did it for us, for our marriage." That night, I learned that sometimes the people who seem untouchable, arrogant, and condescending need a firm reminder: respect is earned, not assumed. Gregory laughed in my face, but not for long. In the end, boundaries, integrity, and unwavering support for your loved ones always win.